Welcome back. We continue our study of electrophones with the Octopad. The Octopad was made by the Roland Corporation. It's basically a MIDI percussion controller with 8 pads, thus the name. And this is fully programmable, and you can make it sound like anything you like, which is pretty groundbreaking at the time when it came out. The group we're going to listen to is called the Yellow Magic Orchestra, YMO. And they're a Japanese group, and they were considered at the time to be very influential in electronic music. They had a tendency to use new state-of-the-art technology immediately as soon as it was available. So they wouldn't wait 5 years for it to work out the kinks. They'd just dive right in. The specific tune we're going to listen to is called Firecracker, and it was released in the US and Europe under the title Computer Game because it didn't translate properly or something. I don't speak Japanese, so you don't want to hear that. The first drum machine was known as the Rhythmicon, and that was introduced early 1932, around the same time as the theremin, funny enough. There's a pretty good reason why drum machines are used in recording studios. Drummers are expensive and they take up a lot of space. And if you use a drum machine, you don't have to pay for the drummer. So that's the main driving reason behind them. It's also very programmable, meaning it can play exactly the same thing 150 million times in a row if you want it to. Roland also came out with this machine called the 808, the TR-808 and the TR-909. And those two pieces of equipment have been used on more hit records than any other drum machine. They are the standards by which all others are measured. Now, this is interesting because the 808 could only produce 16 sounds. But pretty much, I probably 60 to 70% of the music produced in the 1980s and maybe into the 90s used the TR-808. It was extremely popular. One of the main factors that it declined, and it was probably the best one ever made, but its decline was due to digital sampling. And that's where they would take a machine and record an actual sound of a real drum, and then the machine would play that sound back, rather than using the ADSR envelope to create a sound. The machine that was released in 1980, that was the first one to use digital sampled sounds, was the Lin LM1 drum computer. And that completely changed the landscape again. It was straight up a competition for the Roland TR-808. The TR-808 was much easier to use, had more limits on it, which is why it was so supreme. But ultimately, the sampled sounds won out. Okay, now we get to experience the joy that is Computer Game, or Firecracker as it was originally known. So let me know what you think of this. You may have noticed there was a drum set player playing along, and that's just that he was playing along with the TR-808 drum machine. So yeah, they used both. Okay, we have one more to look at. This one is called the Onde Martenot, and it is another very interesting example of an electronic instrument. We will look at that one next time. See you then. Bye-bye.